Hey everybody, welcome back to Building SouthLake. So today, since we are on a round number, so episode 50, because every 10 parts I do a tour of the city to see like how far everything has come over those past 10 parts. And so that's what we're doing today. We are just looking at how far the city has really progressed. And we actually have a new way of touring this week, which might take a little bit longer, but you might get some better views of everything. So before we even go do any of that, we need to go do our, of course, subscriber of the week. So that's coming here. So we already have 2 in this new dugout. And now we're going to put, so Ali, so A-L-I, and then Devotee, I think, I'm sorry if I butchered your name there. So D-A-V-O-O, A-V-O-O, and then D-I. So Avi Devotee, or Ali Devotee, thank you very much for watching my videos, if you are still watching. So how about we go get started on the tour. So there are a couple new things with the stadium that you might notice. Now they're not really like big changes, but they are small ones, and basically they're all of the colored glass panes here. And basically what these are here to resemble are, you know, the advertisements that you would see in a stadium. You can see a whole bunch of people flying around doing things like that, because usually my world is on open so people can come in and join. And then the other thing I added are basically all these seats here. So if people want to come actually sit down, it fills up the area. And you actually would see a lot of things like these in a stadium. Which, if you are wondering, these are actually beds for the, basically like, what do you call those? The canopy, whatever you want to call them. That's going to bug me that I can't think of the name for those. Yeah, but I'm actually using bed for those. So they actually look pretty good, I think. And they're also not as thick as regular blocks, which is another reason why I do like them. So we can come down here to take a look at the stadium, which again I'm sure you guys have all seen. We're not going to be going over just all the new stuff. We will be looking at a lot of the old stuff as well, so just kind of keep that in mind, that some stuff is definitely going to repeat when it comes to these tours. Yeah, but one of the things I actually did complete was adding in all of the stone slabs in here to kind of fill up the actual like sidewalk areas. Before it was just grass. I just filled that in not too long ago. I completed this road, which took long enough. It actually took a very long time to complete it. But it's definitely worth it in the end. I still have one more road to do on the other side, but I can get to that. We have the front entrance, which again, obviously everything's not complete when it comes to the interior of the stadium, just like a lot of my buildings, but it is close on the exterior, besides like some small things here and there. But the stadium is still one of my favorite builds on the server, just because of just how big it is, and I actually feel like it's a very realistic build as well, because the design is something that I feel like you would actually see in a actual stadium environment. So a couple other things I worked on was adding in some of these buildings and completing these. Now these aren't fully complete, but they're kind of being worked on as we speak. Well, I guess not actually while we speak, because I'm not working on them, but you get the idea. A couple parts ago, we worked on this new parking garage, which as you can tell is pretty big. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 floors tall, so it's a pretty big parking garage. And I actually saw a lot of comments about people liking it because of how modern it looks. And I agree, I think it definitely is a modern parking garage. I'm not sure if I'm going to add another one on the other side over there, or on the other side of this one. We'll have to wait and see on that, but I actually really do like this design. It's definitely very unique, I think. I got that idea from Huntington. So, boop, 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 boop. And let's fly over here. So once we get into the main part of the city, I will start doing the new way of touring, which might take a little bit longer, like I said earlier, but it's definitely worth it. So also, one of the new things I added literally just like yesterday is these new things right by the river. Now these are here to kind of give you a better feel of the city and view of it. And they're also here for just, you know, if, for example, if the city actually was real in real life, people could actually run on these, take, you know, their dates over here to the riverside. And you're actually going to see these going all the way down the river on this side of the river. I said river so many times there. Yeah, but there's just a lot of these being added. Mainly because they also add some character to the riverfront. That's something I really want to get working on, is that side of the river. Because over here, it's pretty much all complete besides a couple things here and there. But this side, it's starting to get worked on every now and then. I just really got to finish up some of the little things over on this side. So, how about we get started on the new way of touring? So let's fly over here. I'm sorry if you can hear my dogs in the background. They are barking downstairs because they're annoying like always. So let's fly over here to the newer parts of the city. And we're almost there. Just follow the highway. And we're here. Not fully complete, but we're close enough. So the new way of touring is actually a little bit different. We're going to be basically walking around the city. That way you can kind of get the scale of everything and how big everything is. I mean, for example, you can kind of see how tall this building is now since we're standing next to it. When you're flying up above it, it's kind of hard to tell how big it is. Now we will be flying through some of these things because if we walk throughout the entire city, it would take a very long time to see everything. We have the highway here. This is actually one of my favorite views of the city. You can just kind of see all the skyscrapers in the background. Which actually there's that building right over there, which I still need to complete, but I'll get to it eventually. Well, maybe. And actually one of my favorite buildings that I just added was these two right here. These two are actually, I like them a lot because of just how they fit in with the area. And they're not too tall either. I mean, they're what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 floors tall. So only one floor bigger than the parking garage. So they're not too big. And I really do like the feel of them. They fit in with the area. And one of the things I really do love about this one is I love the open area up here. I don't know, it's just really unique with the slanting roof that goes down. And just having this area in here just really kind of opens it up, makes it feel more open, which is something I've been trying to do with a lot more buildings lately. This one here, I love the look of it from this point of view. Now from the back, it might not look too interesting, but from the front here, I definitely love how it looks. I love the green behind the slabs. I love just the big glass opening, which is actually going to be open if we actually fly in here. I actually did one floor almost. How do we actually get up there? Oh yeah, we can go up through here. So this would all be open if this was a real building. These are the cubicles to where people would work. So we can actually see like what one would look like here. So just a nice little office building. And now we can fly back down. Woo, boop. Okay, some other things that have been pretty new over the past couple parts is this entire highway system has been complete. Now when I say complete, I mean like they're connected. They're not fully complete, obviously, because that one just goes off into nowhere. And that would actually be pretty dangerous if there were actual cars on it. But I'm talking about how these things curve and connect with each highway. That way it kind of feels more realistic. Everything's connected like highways actually are in real life. So we're definitely getting there when it comes to the completion of the main part of the city. But yeah, this entire area is pretty new because I'm going to add some more buildings over here. They're going to be pretty small buildings like the ones right here that were here. That I don't even know what I was trying to say there, but hey, you guys understand, hopefully. Yeah, over here is definitely still one of my favorite parts of the city. Just, I like the small buildings. It gives the city some history, having some of these smaller buildings, I think, personally. Let's see. So basically we can fly throughout all of this, mainly because you guys have seen all of this before. Now we can walk across some of it. I mean, again, so you can kind of get a scale of how big everything is around you when you're actually on the ground, which is what we're trying to do. Now I am going to be adding more cars into the city, but I want to get the main buildings completed first and then add in the cars later. That way I'm not really wasting my time, because as you guys know, I like building, and that's why I don't do interior, is because 1, it takes too long, and 2, I suck at it too. So where should we go from here? Let's go this way. So we're actually going to fly, so we're not wasting too much time because you guys have seen a lot of this so far. Again, the highway has been extended from one side all the way to the other. Now this building right here is actually one of my new favorite buildings on the map, and mainly just because of how it looks and just the history of it. You get the feeling that this would be maybe a old train station or a library. It has definitely that older feel to it because of the huge arches in the windows, how big the windows are, and there's just something about it that kind of gives it that historic look. We have the museum here, which is still, I'm not sure if this is brand new in the past 10 parts. I'm pretty sure it's not, but it's been here for quite some time now, and it's actually still one of my most realistic looking buildings. I think you can easily tell when you look at it that it is a museum, just because of those big columns there in the center, and you always get the feeling that museums are always white for some reason. So I used quartz to kind of make that complete. We have some new buildings over here. Also, I'm sorry if I'm saying a lot. I'm just trying to figure out where we want to go next. We usually when I say But if we go over here, there's actually one of the newest parts of the city, which I'm actually really excited about, is the new the beach here. And the reason I'm actually adding a beach is because over here, I'm actually going to have an ocean, which I've been talking about for a while on the city. But now it's actually becoming a reality, and the ocean is actually going to be huge. It's going to be over 2 to 3 maps big. So to just kind of put that in perspective, a map is this big. So basically we're actually off the map right now. So basically the ocean's going to fill up this entire map. And it's going to take a while, but I think it will definitely be worth it in the end. Then because there's actually going to be cruise ships, you know, islands, things like that mixed in with everything, which I think is going to make it really cool. And on the other side of the ocean, I'm actually going to have another city. And one of the ideas I was actually tossing around about the other city was I could remake Newfield City, because I love that city, but I would have to make it more up to the SouthLake standards, which might be pretty difficult. Oh wow, we're already at 11 minutes, so let's hurry up and fly around a couple more things. So I showed you over here how everything's kind of looking with the riverfront and how I'm kind of changing that design up a little bit from the other side. Showing you guys a lot of, well, I guess I could show you the map. So the map of this city is basically looking like this so far. So we're pretty close to completion, like I said earlier, when it comes to this side of the river. And there's a lot of small things here and there. I'm pretty sure this building's new in the last 10 parts, which is actually the new tallest building on the server. Just because I like how big it is, it also feels realistic. I remember at one point though, I was going to make this building as wide as this entire area. I'm actually really happy I didn't, because that would have been way too wide for the building, and it would have looked way too big compared to everything else. Which, one thing I always talk about when it comes to building a city is scale, and scale is so important if you want things to feel realistic. And so that's definitely one thing I'm really proud about when it comes to SouthLake, is just the scale of everything. When you're standing next to a building, it actually feels big. It actually feels how big it should. Even the smaller buildings, they feel, you know, the correct size for your Minecraft character, which is something, like I said, I'm very proud of, because it does take quite a bit of time to kind of perfect. And I still don't even have it perfected. I'm just still working on it. It's just something I've kind of worked on over the years. Oh, what did I throw? I threw a sign. Here's your sign. And one of my favorite views still is when you walk out of this building. I love these buildings here because they leave an impression, especially from the, you know, from the top view of these buildings. I love the fact that you come out, you have this open area to where you can have a party or just relax. And the fact that you can just see the entire city, it's just one of the coolest things to me. You don't really see that too much in cities, I think. At least in my opinion, I haven't really visited too many cities. But these buildings definitely leave an impression when you fly up above. You can definitely notice them because of the greenness to them. And still one of my favorite buildings on the entire map so far. So I think we've basically hit everything when it comes to a lot of the buildings. So in a couple weeks, like maybe 3 or 4 weeks, I actually know Big B Stats, which I'm sure you guys have heard of him. He is another great YouTuber for the Minecraft Xbox community, basically. He also plays on Pocket Edition, if you're not aware of his channel. He actually toured the city not too long ago, so up on his channel, he will have a video of SouthLake, which I will also like when he puts it up. And yeah, so you guys can look forward to that as well if you like his channel. If you guys don't know about his channel, I suggest go checking him out. He has some great content. So I will talk to you guys later. Hopefully you enjoyed this tour. It is actually coming out a couple days early, which, surprise, surprise. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching, guys. I know a lot of things have been changing with my channel lately. But hopefully from here, not too many things are going to change. Really, besides, you know, just the different content that's getting put out. And when I say different content, I mean the same content, but with just more added on top of it. So yeah, that's why I want to get this video out a couple days early to kind of show you guys that, you know, Minecraft is not going away on my channel at all. So yeah, again, thank you very much for watching, everyone. It is greatly appreciated as always, and I will talk to you guys later and see you on Tuesday for another episode of SouthLake. So, bye-bye.
Some legends are told, some turn to dust or to gold, but you